There's an area in the brain called the amygdala. This area, known as the amygdala, is actually the alarm. To prevent us from losing something that belongs to us, something that could be lost suddenly or anything else important, our body, or rather nature itself, has set up 11 defenses for us. Now, if I call and my wife is engaged, who am I calling at that moment? The most dangerous state of jealousy.
Suspicion is part of this.
Many people misunderstand this jealousy as love.
Isn't
it because of my love that I become extremely possessive? It's not that I want what I have to become dangerous for you. When we say insecurity, it's like calling it poison. Insecurity is studied as the seed of poison. Even now, women still have that primitive suspicion. If their man sees another woman, will he leave? That doubt from ancient times still exists in her.
William Shakespeare famously remarked that jealousy is a vicious green-eyed monster. This jealousy will inevitably arise within us.
So then,
I would ask, is it not possible to set our brain without relying on God? Everyday Premium, welcome to TBC Tops. Roby sir, brother, hello, greetings. So, tell me, what exactly is the specific topic that we have planned to talk about to our viewers today?
if I give this as an introduction and response, GK always talks to me about a very crucial topic, one that every human being on this earth deals with, but they categorically claim they never have it. About one emotion that people deny. It's not just an emotion. Your name is envy, jealousy.
Sometimes we can't even recognize that it's jealousy.
Unable to recognize it. That emotion. Now, if I talk about it, you might immediately ask, what is jealousy? What is
Envy, that is what it is.
Won't you ask what jealousy is?
So,
When I explain what jealousy is and what it isn't, you'll immediately understand. Let me give you an example. When I say example, I mean something that happened yesterday. Yesterday on ABC Malayalam Originals, a video was released featuring Benny Vajapilli, a businessman from Indonesia. Now, all the videos are being watched by a lot of people and are getting a lot of attention, especially in the Western world. So, Benny Vajapilli shared the story of how he bought a helicopter and got into trouble. And then the video went viral on a large scale. I think about 500,000 people have already watched it. I checked it in the morning, and when I looked, it had about 500,000 views. Seeing that, I felt a happiness inside me, a real joy. This is the opposite feeling of sadness. It's happiness. So this is a big appreciation. If you ask what all happened first, there is a happiness for ABC. There's a sense of gratitude that he mentioned this matter. So overall, there's a happiness. But on the other hand, the opposite is a conflicting emotion. So you might not have understood what exactly an emotion is.
this Benny Sir Darton brother told a story about not being able to buy a helicopter. So when he said he was happy, Roby J is someone who can't afford to buy a helicopter. No, he actually bought the helicopter,
By luck,
but it wasn't delivered to him. He might even get to fly the helicopter around.
that might happen. So if you ask what the essence of that is, do you want to understand what jealousy is? When I talk about the feeling of jealousy, I'm not cornering or targeting people. If you want to define what jealousy is, one of the many types of jealousy is social jealousy, jealousy within society, the jealousy of the community. If you look at the comments under that, you'll see it at its root. Just looking at these comments is enough to understand what social jealousy is.
That's what it is.
So the big guy says, hey, you, while people are starving here, you're just buying a helicopter. But the truth is, when people are struggling, that's when this happens. But that person who once lay there hungry grew up as an ordinary man and finally reached a point where he could buy a helicopter.
Isn't that the point?
That's what inspires us. So this social jealousy, there are reasons behind it. There are many reasons. For example, whenever I feel jealous, sometimes Gautam tells me, Sir, brother, to be honest, I'm jealous of your skill in this one thing. We often say this jokingly. But when we say it's jealousy, what's the reason? Actually, calling it jealousy is a kind of defense mechanism. It's not actually a negative feeling. The affection or fondness you have for me is where this comes from. So what is meant by a defense mechanism? Our body, or rather nature itself, has created these defense mechanisms to prevent us from losing something we consider our own. There is an area called the amygdala. This area, the amygdala, is actually like an alarm. Whenever there is a possibility of suddenly losing something, or if there are other such situations, the alarm goes off. This is what the amygdala does. At the same time, what is the role of the prefrontal cortex? Its job is to observe, to look at things efficiently, to monitor, and to evaluate matters honestly. These are some of the functions of the prefrontal cortex. Because of this one function of the amygdala, the so-called adrenaline rush and other chemicals are produced, and all of this gets triggered. At that moment, our sense goes away. Do you understand? When that sense is lost, whatever the amygdala does will dominate there. So when we say that something I didn't get is in someone else's hands, if we trace the roots of this, that's where it gets interesting. Where does its root?
Lie. The fact that something I didn't get is with someone else.
Should not get it. Why is it that what I didn't get, someone else gets? Now, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning, if you ask every person in the world, you, me, and everyone else, do you feel envy? They'll say, oh, I don't feel any envy towards anything. In reality, all of us have it. That's what is called jealousy. That's why I said this comes from something that nature has arranged within us. So, what is the matter? For example, GK has 2 children, Kunjapan and Kunji, 2 little kids. Whenever I see them, or even when talking to them on the phone, I often say to G, what to say? Just sit at home and give Kunji to him. They say, give it to Kunji Kunjapa, you should give it to her. Poor thing, isn't she? And insist on giving it. Yes, instead of this, when the kids say, I won't give it, you still have to give it. Then they say, did you take it? Did you take it? Why do children behave like this? So, fear of missing out, we start getting used to the fear of missing out from a very young age. I don't have it. The situations that arise from a lack of love, the love I didn't receive in my life, the love I lost, there's this feeling that the lost love is still there, and there's a sense of ownership over it. Many times we experience something called pathological jealousy. Pathological jealousy is now referred to as Othello syndrome, which is also called shaped fear. What is Othello syndrome? Othello and Desdemona both tried to possess each other, driven by jealousy. And in the end, what happened? He was destroyed. And ultimately, he killed the girl. Desdemona had to be killed. And this is what Shakespeare refers to as Othello syndrome. So, pathological jealousy is one of the most dangerous conditions.
This is mostly seen that they are our partners, right? This specific thing I just mentioned, this point right here.
In my opinion, I think it's strictly between a husband and his wife.
And also between siblings.
Let me give an example of Sir Long Chan brother and his younger brother. GK mentioned quite a few characters. This is a Bible story that all of us know, the story of Cain and Abel. Who are they? Cain and Abel are the first brothers in the world, according to the Bible, right? They are the children of Adam and Eve, the first siblings. So what happened was, both of them grew up well. One became a farmer, the other a shepherd. While they were working, one in the fields, God suddenly appeared and asked them to offer a sacrifice as a test. But Cain brought some withered and leftover produce from his field as his offering. God realized he was being selfish. So what did Abel do? He brought his most beloved lamb and offered it as a sacrifice. Then God advised him, saying, if you do good, you will become a great person. But instead he became jealous. He took his brother out to the fields and killed him. Isn't that right? The Bible says that was the first act of deceit and the first murder in the world. That's what it says.
That's one next.
The basis for this is jealousy. Today, the song composed by Arjun and Master and written by Thampi Sir, just before starting this video, while I was thinking about this, I listened to that song and became emotional. Our viewers can listen to that song too. The children of Adam and Eve, they are the first brothers on earth, whatever it may be. Do you know, it's in the feeling, the lyrics of that song and its music that is among those living among us. Shakespeare calls it the green-eyed monster. That's what he called jealousy. Green-eyed monster means jealousy, a monster with green eyes. Even if you just say that, you understand, right? So this thing is present with all of us. It's alive, what we call this thing.
No, this I inside right now, in the level of our brain's thinking, in our way of thinking, or rather jealousy is a byproduct of that pattern.
You could call it a byproduct if you want.
Or you could even call it a main product.
When you say college, this is something, then you have to see it as a mirror, as an effect. It's actually a reflection.
What I have understood is that this is something that normally happens and all we can do is process it.
There is no other way.
Inevitably jealousy arises, so can't we set our brain so there is no jealousy?
Yes, that's right.
Why do we have this? Didn't Shakespeare write about this 300 years ago? Paniyan or Iago?
In Malayalam, it came as Paniyan.
When the most beautiful girl in the village went with him, who was darker and of a lower caste than himself, he got this feeling. He never knew that he had feelings for that girl.
He never knew.
Then his whole life, target goal became about destroying them.
That
happened because of work.
can do.
The whole world read it, the whole world enjoyed it. It was made into movies and plays. It became a great work of art and the whole world could relate to it.
Why?
People relate to it. It's not just now, it's always been inside everyone.
We are able to relate to it. We can really relate to it.
So what I'm asking is, how is it that something Shakespeare wrote 300 years ago still stands today even more powerfully as a green-eyed monster?
We are together. That,
Along with,
yes, that's there too.
we can only process this by placing it on the level of logic here.
For this first, as GK just mentioned, it is possible to remove it through culture itself. In any case, that is to develop faith and to look at things from the foundation of faith and mutually. Now, as I said, I mentioned pathological jealousy, right? Then SK up to 10, and then what is called the most terrifying state of jealousy. Wherever they go, they will check the telephone calls. Whom are they calling? If someone else is calling, and when I call, if my wife's line is engaged, then I start wondering, who is she talking to? If she is calling someone she shouldn't, or if my husband is calling someone he shouldn't, this is the condition called Othello syndrome, which is the most dangerous form of jealousy.
This is one such condition.
Didn't I say all the people in the world, all diseases, are based on this, both delusional disorders and non-delusional disorders? What are the things that don't exist? What exactly is not there? So within this, if we look at the 11 most important things, one of them is forgiveness. This is a good antidote for it. Up to forgiveness, we have a lot of wounds we experience in childhood. And in childhood, we have hearts that have been hurt in many ways. All these wounds remain as shadows in the backup of the mind. They actually lie in the shadow of fear. And from time to time, that shadow will emerge. Then things I lack will seem unnecessary to him. The things I don't have become comparisons for him on the other side.
It's not that my cow died, it's that his cow didn't die.
All my sorrow, all the darkness of my cow is because his calf didn't die.
So once a child asks this Sadhguru, Sadhguru, is jealousy an advantage in my life? What is the reason for that? In my class, Sadish, who sits next to me, if he scores more marks than me in the exam, I start to feel sick. Then I study more. In the next exam, I will score more marks than Satish. So I feel like jealousy has been an advantage for me, he says.
This is a
Reply that Sadhguru gives as an answer.
there is.
That is, during this holy season, especially outside Kerala, maybe from Karnataka or Tamil Nadu and such places, this horse and donkey together, they say they make the donkey run with the horse in a race. It's a story we've heard. A donkey can never catch up with a horse in a race, but then they tie a firecracker to the donkey's tail. When it's time for the race to start, they light the firecracker tied to the donkey's tail. So, right at the start, the donkey sprints off at an incredible speed, even outpacing the horse.
For a moment,
The horse can't even come close to beating that pace.
it's impossible.
But after about 100 or 200 meters, no one knows where the donkey is headed anymore.
Or why it's even running.
But the horse, running with its own consistency, completes the round and ends up as the winner. This is the example Sadhguru gave that day.
He said this.
It's a really interesting example.
Not just a good example, it's a great example.
Many people misunderstand envy as an advantage.
It's there, and some even turn it into a kind of energy saying, let people be envious of me. But what we always say is, there is a cure for this. Like how people say, there's medicine for it, you'll get better, but the cough won't go away. In the end, there is a cure.
Definitely.
It keeps coming back, it's tough. But there is medicine for it. I can ask for a job, but right now, inside all this, like peeling an onion, inside this envy, it's fantastic. The emotions being talked about, there's fear and there's insecurity.
Right.
There are so many negative emotions like this. If you peel away the layers inside, when you call it envy, it's like peeling off the outer skin of an onion. What you see inside is the real reason.
So I would have thought for a while now if I was jealous, but after thinking about it for so long, I realized that I am not sick.
I generally feel that, and then the sky is very jealous.
Less to recognize.
I can't recognize it.
We can't know.
Can't do it.
Many times we recognize that this is jealousy.
I just thought about it now, about many things. Do I feel jealous of GK now? GK has a car. Am I jealous?
Do I
No, that's what I asked. So I,
drop in, sir, brother? I felt bad towards you because I didn't have it. I have to pay the EMI.
no, now, about many things of Robbie Sir Brothers, do I really feel jealous of Robji? No, that day in my mind, I might have felt it. Maybe it was there. I feel that not everyone, all the people watching this, may be able to recognize their own jealousy.
Yes, Satish is absolutely right. That is, to recognize that it's because of jealousy, our brain finds other reasons. For example, when my brother sir or brother says something, suddenly something comes to mind like, no, sir or brother, this brain of ours sometimes draws a line, and this line together with this nook. There's a joke that asks, is it going to erase it? Is it going to reduce it? Is it going to make it smaller? So when everyone is thinking like this, someone comes and draws a big line, and then
Long lines.
the very basis of saying it's small is actually comparison. The brain only knows how to do that. If I say something is too sweet, for Satish, it might not be too sweet. That's because Satish is used to a different level of sweetness. When my brain processes the sweetness I'm used to, it feels like it's too much. The same goes for love. There's too much love. Do you get it? Sometimes, even in the office, some people might say something small and leave or finish their work and go. Our enemies might misunderstand our intentions. If there's less arguing, they'll just listen, because at home too, there's someone correcting them.
Their father also doesn't have this, this state of detachment.
Only if the brain can handle every pleasure, every situation, and every level can you truly survive. In a place with extreme cold, you might say, oh, it's too cold. But for someone living in that cold place, sometimes it might even feel less cold to them. Enduring discomfort is entirely an internal process.
It is always connected to our preconceptions. When we say preconceptions, it means whatever parameters are set, everything is linked to our previous experiences. The answer to where all this is stored lies in the subconscious mind.
That's right.
As soon as you see this in India, try to analyze it immediately. You see something, and after seeing it, you make a request. You want something. If you want an action from it, the brain will immediately send a message. When this message is sent, the subconscious will send it back. Whether you want that sugar kept nearby, or you want something sweet, what is the parameter? What are the previous assumptions? Immediately the brain will respond. The brain will analyze this, and after analyzing, it will order that this is something correlated. Yes, it will go.
That's it.
Otherwise, it will say no and reject it immediately. The body will go into a definite defense mechanism. That's why when we suddenly hear something unnecessary, or when we are tense, or when such topics come up, we suddenly feel our stomach churning or have the urge to go to the toilet, just like that. Altogether, everything is moving into that mechanism. There, it does something, opens here, hits there, hits here. You rush one thing, adrenaline rush, send it from there, give another thing from here. This is how it works. So this feeling of, will I experience this loss? Like the thought that my wife is calling someone else instead of me. When this feeling arises, this chemical process is also happening along with it. For the makeup process not to happen, if you want this to go away, what awareness is needed? That a certain state will arise, right? This is a sense of insecurity. The insecurity that has been in my life. The awareness needed is the realization that I'm able to reclaim it. This awareness, this ceiling, none of this really matters.
Isn't it? It's awareness, that's all. Now, when we start a vehicle, as the vehicle's tires roll and it moves forward, as it takes us toward our target, drop, goal, how does the vehicle get heated up? The engine heats up.
That won't happen.
As I said, it's a state in our thought process that we can't avoid, right?
It's a different kind of defense mechanism.
Yes, that's what needs to be fixed.
Yes.
Chill it.
I see. How then?
Robin Suchai, brother, can you tell us how that's possible?
In response to Jiku's question, let's look into the psychology of jealousy, what it is, and the psychology behind it. There are some more authoritative aspects to this. One thing is the chemical reactions that occur in the brain, especially during moments of jealousy. The area I mentioned at the beginning, called the amygdala. That area is like an alarm system. It activates whenever we face any kind of threat. Imagine it as a security alarm that goes off when something happens. When this alarm is triggered, the prefrontal cortex starts working. This is the only area that helps us think rationally and critically. So what happens as a result is that critical thinking decreases. When our critical thinking goes down, sometimes we might realize, oh, I shouldn't be jealous of him. That's a negative thing. We have a certain awareness that we've gained through reading, learning, or culturally. But when that awareness is pulled down, critical thinking also drops. That function of the brain will also go down. So naturally, we have this tendency. At that point, stress hormones will immediately spike, and along with adrenaline and other substances, the body will start to wire itself and tension will begin. By then, when another car comes by, you might think, oh, I actually enjoy this feeling. Let me tell you a reason I myself started laughing after it was over. I'm not mentioning anyone's specific name here. Now, let me tell you the whole story. This is a very good example. I'm standing right here in front of my own flat. At that exact moment, a sudden element of intense jealousy surfaced deep inside me in a way that I couldn't even believe myself. Do you truly understand what I'm saying? Let me say it myself. Right in front of me, the enforcement department's main office is located right next to my flat. It must have been at that ED office. One of Kerala's top directors, someone who is both a big director and producer, had come there. He's a very famous director. And the person I know, whom I call Sir Brother, is also there. So, as I was walking along the road, his most expensive car, one of the most expensive and modern cars among Asians, would be parked there on the road. The moment I saw the car, I looked at it. So about the car, I don't feel any envy towards cars. Because I always have friends and all, I have no particular interest in cars. That's how it is. But when this person suddenly started walking towards the car to get in, I looked for a second, waved at him and asked, "Hey, what's up? It's been a while since we met." I called him Sir Brother, and you know what he did? He just glanced at me quickly and gave a single nod. Just a single nod.
He didn't even look at me.
Yeah, he didn't even look at me at all. So, where is the element of envy in that? It's not there. But honestly, there is envy in my mind. That envy, that's what it is. Like GK said at some point, even while we're sitting here talking, he mentioned it. This one thing I don't have. Like, you went ahead and became a big shot, right? Now you don't call like you used to. All of you have become big people.
Yes, that's another form of envy. Isn't it? Isn't that a sense of inferiority?
Let's go then. All this is related to this secure security. It all happens due to insecurity. Then there is comparison. The husband will tell the wife will tell the husband, "You go and find that other person over there." Are you just wandering around like that? Or else aren't you that Sir Brother's other person? Are you like your uncle's children? Are you behaving like them? So what do these kids think? What do these kids think? I'm not like my father. I'm like my father's younger brother. They know that those people are older than me, older than us. The child who lives in better conditions will slowly start this comparison. If you ask me, I am the bad one. I am the bad one, and they are the reason for it. This is what they feel, that those people are the reason why I've become like this.
What I mean is, just the other day regarding buying a dress for Vishu, a friend of mine, my friend in Kuwait, sent me some Instagram photos of her friends and then asked me to buy a sari from here and send it to her. When sending it, she said that none of these colors should be there. So basically, these are my wife's friends' photos that I
told her none of these should be there.
It's not about what is needed, but that none of these should be there because these are their favorite dresses for various functions. So if she wants to wear a dress for Vishu, her friend's dress shouldn't be there. While watching this, he will understand that.
What I have is not needed for her. When we talk about insecurity, it's like calling it poison. The seed of poison is what we call insecurity. So, have you heard about the anxious attachment of insecurities? Will an anxious relationship slip away? Will it let go? Will it leave? If you look at it from ancient times, billions of years back, from the time humans were being hunted, from the era of hunting, this has been discussed. So what is said in Sapiens is that back then, our men would go into caves, and after going into these caves, they would fight off dangerous, aggressive animals, like those with thorns, using their hands and stones, beating and killing them. Then they would bring the kill back home and lay it in front of their wife. That was his happiness. Beyond that, it was his way of proving his worth. His whole body would be covered in wounds. Then she would touch and caress all those wounds, wash and clean them with water, wipe them with leaves. She would do all that. After that, the next step, you could say, would be moving towards sex. There was no awareness or consciousness about it. It was just a process. But even now, women still have that primal doubt. If this man sees another woman, will he get aroused? That suspicion from ancient times still exists in her. Do you understand? Whenever they go out, where are they going? Whom did you see? This is just a topic I brought up. Is it because of what I said, or is it because you like it? There is definitely jealousy. It's because of love that we call it that. We call it by the name of love. What I said earlier, this anxious attachment, the kind that's filled with longing, there is such a type of attachment. The fear it creates, the fear of will they leave me, is one of the biggest things it produces. That's a byproduct. On the other hand, there are also people who keep their distance. Because of this, they always maintain a certain distance. It's like saying, I'm not coming closer. They hold back, thinking that if we get too close, what if some problem arises tomorrow? That's why they keep their distance, almost as a precaution. All of this stems from insecurity, from a deep-seated sense of self-doubt and lack of self-worth. Feeling like one is not enough, that they themselves are lacking? I myself don't have any self-respect. That's not because others don't respect me. So if I don't have respect for myself, whenever I see someone who has others' respect, I immediately start to feel it. Which emotion is it? Jealousy or dislike? Isn't it comparison? Isn't it do this? With my own car and my own weakness, I do it like that. Then I say, I don't have that. Back then, when I saw my friend get an opportunity, I said, he ran away. But if I really think about it, I felt a huge sense of guilt. But Rohin Saroy brother is actually junior to Rohin Saroy brother. I kept thinking like that. He is a highly respected person on a different level. That thought, in just a second, made me realize that we are all standing in the shadows of our past. The shadows of our past are what we stand in. So, as far as I am concerned, I have never experienced such insecurities. I didn't have parents who were jealous.
Shakespeare said it. The green-eyed monster is jealousy. Now, Robin sir, brother just mentioned it himself. He said past. I often talk about a very interesting aspect of the Malayalam language regarding the arrangement of tenses. In some places, I discuss this. In this world, perhaps no other language has such a thing as present, past, and future tenses.
Has anyone ever used the terms present, past, and future in this way? I don't think so.
That is, considering the past as Bhutam, ghost spirit, and giving it that name, perhaps only the Malayalam language has done this. The image of a Bhutam is always dark, sinister, and frightening. So our past...
If you really think about it, the past is just like a ghost.
Have I ever thought about why the Malayalam language named the past as Bhutakalam, ghost time past?
I used to think it was because there were ghosts in the old days.
When we say Bhutakalam, it's as scary as a ghost.
There used to be great people.
Yes, in the same way, in such a state, we wash out all our positive memories and keep only the dark memories, and then we keep talking about the old days. Many times, it's like we're seeing a ghost when we look back at the past.
Correct, yes. What GK says is that many people misunderstand this nostalgia as a kind of jealous love. They think, isn't it because of my love that I do all this? My possessiveness is at its peak, it's darker, but isn't it because of my love that I do all this?
Out of love.
It is all because of love. It is truly because of my overwhelming and excess love for you that I choose to do this. So, back at that time, what they would often call it is catastrophizing. Now, catastrophizing essentially means the act of seeing a very small minor thing as if it were a huge overwhelming disaster. If you call a small trivial thing a big disaster, if you don't get it, you start thinking, oh no, did something happen? Did something go wrong there? Did something happen to the child? They're not picking up. What if they left and don't come back? These are the kinds of thoughts that come up. So this is actually a major psychological issue. And then there are people who misunderstand jealousy as love. Then, as this fear keeps increasing within us, we try to hold on to our partner. There are so many things like this, so many such issues.